Hey everyone, today we are talking about letting go of past habits for a brighter financial future. Let me just introduce myself if you don't know who I am. So my name is Anita D'Souza. I am a chartered management accountant as well as a finance and wealth coach. So I own my own accountancy practice as well as my own coaching business, Committed to Excellence. I have some announcements, so let me make them. So from next year I'll be going live on my business page, which is called Committed to Excellence. The link will be above when I finish this live. The second thing is, if you are looking to change your money mindset and to start saving, feel free to join my savings group called Saving Money Made Easy. Again, I'll put the link above so that if you do want to join, just click on the link and answer the questions and then you'll be in. The third thing is I have a YouTube channel, guys. It's called Committed to Excellence, and I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers this year. So if you haven't already gone over there and liked my channel and subscribed, do go over there and subscribe to my channel. And then if you're watching live, let me know who's watching. Let me know your name. Let me know where you're watching from. And lastly, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you feel compelled to, feel free to share. Okay, so let's go. So today's topic is all about letting go of your past, right? And it came about, right, because for me, the past few weeks, all I've been coming across, all I've been thinking about, all I've been feeling is the fact that I need to let go of some things, right? I never really thought that I had an issue of letting go and all that, but everywhere I turn, things are talking about letting go of your past. So I thought, it's a good idea to do a live, because when I do lives, I learn from them as well. And so I just want to talk about how letting go of your past can actually help your financial future. So I had a dream last night, and again, it was so in tune with this topic. It's unbelievable. So I know that dreams don't often mean what we think they mean. Sometimes you may dream of something and it's a complete opposite meaning. But for me, I interpreted my own dream. Okay, so let me tell you what happened in this dream. So I needed some hairbands to do Nyla, my 2.5-year-old's hair. And as you know, beauty salons, nail salons, my nails really need a doing, are closed. But in my dream, the hair shop opened, so the African Caribbean hair shop opened. And you could get like all the hairbands and the bubbles and all those kind of things from there. And I got into the shop and I went and stood by where these hairbands was. And for some reason, I just stood there. And you would expect that I would reach out for these hairbands, but I didn't. And then a friend, I couldn't recall who it was, I don't know who it was, but in my dream I know it was supposed to be a friend, came into the shop, and she came and grabbed like 4 packs of these hairbands, right? And there were about 10 packs there, and I needed a couple of packs. So she came in and grabbed it, and I was still standing there. Then another friend came in, and she came and grabbed like 5 packs and just, walked off with it. And so I was left with just 1 pack, and I just grabbed this pack and I thought, okay, well, that's what I'm left with. That's what I'm going to kind of handle. That's what I'm going to keep. But when I woke up in the morning and I thought about my dream, it just made me think of this kind of situation, in the sense that, if it was really a good friend, these people were really good friends, they would have come in, seen me standing there, seen me, would have spoken to me or whatever, and known that I was coming to get these hairbands, and would have said, okay, let's share. So I'll have 2, or I'll have 3, you have 3, and then the other person coming in would have 3. But these friends of mine just literally came into the shop, grabbed what they wanted and walked out. And it's very similar to what we're experiencing in the supermarkets at the moment, where people are just going crazy and they're buying loads and loads of stuff and not thinking about other people, right? So in this case, we have to think about the kind of friends that we keep, right? We need to kind of audit our friend circle, and sometimes realize that some friends are not there to uplift you and to help you to move forward. They're there to actually just take and think about themselves. And so again, this just made me think about, letting go of, things that do not serve me. And so here I am now talking about it. So Right, so there are a lot of negative habits that a lot of us have, right? A lot of negative habits. And here are just a few. And I hope you can relate to some of them, because I can relate to a lot of these habits on my list, okay? So the first one is fear of change, okay? I am not good with change. I really am not. I'm the kind of person that likes things to be the way it is. But I've realized that change is really, really important to help us to move forward in our lives, right? So I've kind of like accepted the fact that things change, get on with it, move on with your life, right? But also, you know, we've got to embrace change. I feel like if you're still holding on to your old ways of doing things, how can you start new ways of doing things? How can you build new habits? So when change comes, accept it with both hands. The fear of change just needs to stop, right? The second thing is holding back. How many of us are scared to let our light shine because we're scared that maybe it'll intimidate somebody, or you know, people will judge us or whatever? When in case, we shouldn't be holding ourselves back. We should be doing what we're put here on earth to do. We should be, you know, pursuing our careers. We should be pursuing the lives that we want to live, because at the end of the day, your life is in your hands, right? If you want a good life, you actually have to make an effort to get that, right? So the next thing is trying to please everyone and caring what everyone thinks. For me, you can never please everyone. You really cannot. Everyone has always got something to say about your situation, about, you know, what you've been through, where you're going. And if you were to listen to every single thing that everybody says, you will never get anywhere. There's a quote by Winston Churchill which says that, you know, if you stop to throw stones at every single barking dog, you will never get to your destination. So if you're the kind of person who is always worried about, you know, what people will think, or you're trying to please people instead of putting yourself first, you need to stop, right? You really need to stop that. And the next thing is complaining about everything, right? There's a quote in my office, and that quote says, you do not have to be the victim of your environment. You can be the architect, okay? And the point is that, you know, we go about complaining and saying, oh, this person did this to me, that person did that to me, and it's all in the past, right? When in fact, we should be looking towards our future, and we should be thinking about, okay, well, what lessons can I learn? You know, why am I still holding on to something that happened a long time ago? You know, if you've gotten into a fight with somebody, you're holding some anger, you need to let that stuff go, because complaining all the time and being a victim is not going to help you to move forward. You need to realize that you had played a part in, you know, accepting somebody's behavior towards you, maybe overspending and getting yourself into debt, or making the wrong decisions. You have to take that responsibility, and when you do, that's when you can start making changes in your life, okay? So let's stop complaining about everything and start being the architect of our own lives. So the next thing is self-hate, okay? I go on about self-love all the time, and it's a game changer. So if you're not somebody who takes time to really love yourself and appreciate yourself and accommodate yourself, you need to start doing that. You really, really do. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, the next thing is overthinking. So this will cripple you. Like, a lot of people have such wonderful ideas and, you know, amazing things that they, you know, they want to do in their lives, and all of a sudden they overthink it. So, you know, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. Oh no, it's not a good idea. This person said this person said that. And what that does is actually stops you from taking action. So you have to stop overthinking. If there's something you want to do, just go out and do it. Don't think too hard about it. You do it, you let it pass, and you move on. Whatever you do in the past is in the past. So you have to think about, you know, your future. You're working towards your future. You're taking action towards your future. The next thing is putting yourself down. We've got to stop putting ourselves down. The truth is, you have to be your biggest fan. Okay, and I'm not talking about being arrogant or being, thinking that you're so special. No, but then you have to realize that you have gifts and you are special in a way, and you know, you need to stop expecting everyone else to tell you what you need to do. You need to be confident in yourself. You need to say positive things to yourself, with no apologies. Like, I love when I see confident people who are doing them and who are just being themselves and not apologizing for it. We have to be who we are, and we have to be confident in that. And we have to stop putting ourselves down. No one should have to tell you you are great. You should wake up in the morning and tell yourself that you are great. You should speak positive things to yourself. No one has to tell you you're great. Tell yourself that, okay? The next thing is repeating the same mistakes. So this is a painful one. I think in life, we all go through certain things, and every single one of us has a past. We have, good things that have happened to us, bad things that have happened to us. But the thing is, when you keep repeating the same things, or the same things keep happening to you, that alone tells me that you need to break some kind of cycle that you have. So for example, if you're in debt, or you keep getting yourself in debt, and then you fix your financial situation and then you go back into debt, there's something not working. You have to break that cycle and try and figure out what you're doing to keep putting yourself in that same situation. Because at the end of the day, if you're repeating the same mistakes, you're not learning them. Okay, so what mistakes are you repeating in your life that needs to be learned? Okay, the next thing is comparing yourself to others. It's a big no-no. Have you heard the saying, comparison is a thief of joy? So when you are comparing yourself to other people and always thinking, oh, I wish I was like them, I wish I had what they had, firstly, you're taken away from the fact that you are somebody as well. You are somebody really important. And so, hi Melody. So you are someone important as well. So you should not be comparing yourself. Fair enough, there is like a kind of a healthy comparing, where you see somebody, you're like, wow, I would like to be like them, and you try and figure out how to become like this person. That's healthy. But if you are comparing yourself and thinking, oh, I should be better, I should be where they are, I should be achieving what they're achieving, then that's completely wrong. Yeah, hi, no interruptions from Nyla Mandeep. She's in the bedroom. I've banished them all to the bedroom. They've got their tablets. Excuse me. We should not be comparing ourselves. All you're doing is taking the joy away from your own life, right? Another thing, that we have in our past that we need to let go of is, the fear of failure. The fear of failure. Because we're afraid to fail, we don't take the steps and the actions we need to take. It's okay to fail. The majority of successful people have failed so many times. Take a book from Jack Ma's situation, where he applied to Harvard 10 times, and each time he applied to them, he got rejected. But now he's a billionaire. He's helping so many organizations. He's doing so many events. He could actually go and speak at Harvard now if he wanted to, and they'll probably pay him. So you see the beauty of life, that you may not be where you want to be now, but you have to keep pursuing what you want to do, and it's okay to fail. Actually, failure okay, I don't know what happened there. It kind of disconnected. Failure should actually encourage you to want to push yourself and do more, okay? So do not be afraid to fail. The next thing I have here is waiting for inspiration. I've heard people say, oh, I can't really write anything because I'm waiting for inspiration. What do you mean you're waiting for inspiration? Inspiration comes when you're actually doing certain things. So you need to take action and the inspiration will come. If you want to become a blogger, you want to become a YouTuber, or you want to become a speaker, you have to practice it on a regular basis. And by doing that, that's when the inspiration comes. You actually have to be in it to get the inspiration. Do not sit around thinking, oh, I'm waiting to get some ideas, I'm waiting for inspiration, because that is a waste of time. Okay. All right, the next thing is trying to do everything perfectly. So that's me. A recovered perfectionist, should I say. I used to be a perfectionist, but the beautiful thing about life is nothing is perfect and no one is perfect. So even if you try to be perfect, it just wouldn't happen. Like, I know my posts that I post out there on Facebook and all that are not grammatically correct. I know that when I'm doing my lives, I make mistakes. And the funny thing is, I edit my lives to put them on YouTube. And obviously in order to edit it, you have to watch it, and I cringe all the way through, by the way. But I notice a lot of mistakes I make, and it's fine. I'm not perfect, and I'm happy to be here and have the opportunity to, you know, talk about things that mean a lot to me. Okay, finances mean a lot to me, so that's why I'm always sharing. But today, letting go of my past, letting go of people's expectations of me, and, you know, the conception of what I thought who I thought I was, is gone. Like, I'm a different person now. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, and neither are any one of you, right? The fact is, we are all growing older. We are all changing in so many ways, and we are learning lessons which are making us different people. So if you're trying to still be the same person you were 10 years ago, I don't even know what to say. You need to just stop. Right. And then the last thing I'd say is, you know, giving up. You have to not give up, because the thing is, in trying and failing and trying and failing, that's when you will succeed. So I always say to people, do not give up on your dreams, on your aspirations. Keep going. And the saddest thing, I think, a lot of, you know, millionaires, billionaires, successful people say is that people get so close to achieving their dreams, but then they're so tired. So what do? They give up. Right? So I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep going, whether it's studying for an exam, whether it's you know, trying to start a channel which is not growing, whether it's not starting a business which is not being successful, whether it is trying to improve your finances and trying to get money and, you know, have a lavish life. Do not stop. Keep pushing, because you will achieve it. Right? Okay. So now let's talk about the reasons why we need to let go of all these bad habits that I've just mentioned. The reasons why we need to let go of our past and start looking towards our future. So the first one I would like to say is, you know, when we continue to live our old lives, when we continue to live in the patterns that we used to live in our past, we do not make room for our future. Okay? We are different people, and I keep saying, I've said it so many times through this life, we are different, we are not the same. So you cannot possibly be doing the same things you did, you know, a few years ago, or even last week. Start looking towards the future that you want. Start looking towards the people that you want to, you know, you find inspiration in, and look at their habits and start adopting their habits. Okay? The next thing is, if you have any grudges or anything like that with people, you're fighting, you're having arguments, you've got issues, let them go. Because holding all this, you know, upset and pain and, you know, this person hurt me and that person did that, is actually stopping you from getting into a positive future and achieving what you need to achieve. You need to forget those difficult times that you had in your past. Yeah. Obviously, actually, no, not forget, but forgive. Okay, because I guess our past makes us who we are, so you can never forget your past or who you are, where you've come from, right? But what you can do is start thinking about letting go of anger, letting go of hurt, letting go of people that did you wrong. Learn from it and then just move on from there. So the next reason why we need to let go of our past and look towards our future is because when you're holding on to something, so say you've got your past in your hand like this, right? And now I want to pick up something else, right? How am I going to do it? Because I'm still holding on to something which was back then. So in order to be able to grab onto something new, grab onto new opportunities which are all around you, right? You need to let go. You need to let go of anything that, you know, is hindering you from moving forward, right? So that's it. And then the next thing is, you need to forgive and forget. So if there are people that, you know, hurt you, or, you know, you've been through a very difficult time and all this, you need to forgive and forget, because you are now in a better space to move forward and achieve great things. So let go of that past. Okay. You know, your focus needs to be on preparing your future. Your focus needs to be on, you know, putting past your bad habits, right? And this is where I'm going. This is everything I've said now, the past like 15 minutes, was all to say that, you know, if you have bad money habits, it's habits that have been generated since you were, you know, young, or since you were, you know, in your past, right? So if you now want to kind of achieve better money habits, what do you have to do? You have to just let go of that past, let go of what you were taught, what you believed about money, and start working towards positive things about money. Okay, so let me just give you a truth bomb here, right? Okay, the main reasons why people actually achieve and forget their past and move forward is because they are they're sick and tired. So they've gotten to a point where they're just sick and tired of their situation. So if you're sick and tired of your financial situation and you feel like you need a better financial situation, you need to, start improving your money mindset, right? Then, you should be at the point where you're sick and tired. If you're sick and tired of your job and you want a better job, this is what will kind of propel you to look for something better. If you're sick and tired of failing exams or not getting to where you need to get to, that is perfect. That means that it's going to propel you. But you are never going to, make a change if you're not tired of your situation. And for me, I was tired of certain things in my past, which I have let go of, but I guess I still need to do some more work on, right? So you have to be intentional about your money. You really have to be intentional. And that's all it comes down to. Because when you are intentional, it's a game changer. Okay, another truth bomb is that a lot of people who have like financial difficulties, who are not good with money, who have debt, think that it's because they don't have enough money. A lot of people think that, I should be paid a lot more money and then that way things will be better. But actually, here is the truth bomb. You could be paid £1 million a month, and guess what? You could still handle your money badly. You could still be bad with money. So ultimately, when it comes to personal finance, it's not about how much money you have, how much money you're being paid. Ultimately, let's talk about NHS workers. They are the heroes of the time. NHS workers, teachers, local store staff, transporters who are transporting food to the various places, cleaners, they are all making such an impact on our community right now. And yes, a lot of them are underpaid, right? But the truth of the matter is, it's not always about how much money you are paid. It's about how you handle your money. Because if you've got money now that you can't handle, what if you get that amazing job that gives you, £5,000 extra a month? You're still not going to be in the situation you need to be. So ultimately, you need to sort your foundation out, get to understanding your finances better, and that will put you on a better, block to be able to build better finances from then on, right? So it's really not about how much money you have, it's about how you deal with your money. That's the truth. And then, so here are some tips. So here are my tips for you, okay? In terms of improving your money, improving your finances, and getting, getting into a better financial situation. So the first one is stop relying on credit, okay? Stop relying on credit, start saving and spending your own money. That is so important. It's so easy to get credit nowadays, and these credit card companies are constantly giving you options and opportunities to get a loan and to get some credit cards when you don't need it. And the truth of the matter is, just because you are being offered a loan or you're offered a credit card does not mean you have to take it. So you're offered it, but that does not mean you have to take it, right? Personal finance is all about 20% knowledge but 80% behavior. So once you've got that behavior, once you understand what you're doing with your money, you then will be able to have a better foundation to build a lot more, right? So it's 20%, think about it again. I said personal finance is 20% knowledge and 80% behavior. It's about your habits. It's about the habits that you've kind of grown with that you need to kind of let go of, okay? The next point here that I've got is, I'm sorry, but millionaires, billionaires, successful people, they do not go by the acronyms FOMO or YOLO. FOMO is the fear of missing out, right? So people that think, I need to do it now, or I'm going to miss out. It's absolute rubbish. There's always an opportunity to do everything at the right time. So if you are one of those people who's rushing to do certain things, it's just it's rubbish. The fear of missing out, FOMO, it's not a term that millionaires and successful people use. The other term is YOLO, which stands for you only live once. That is not a term that millionaires and successful people use, because the term YOLO is basically saying that you only live once, I need to live my life now without looking to your future, right? I agree that we have to live our lives take our lives one day at a time, yes. But if you're doing that without having a plan, a strategy, tactics for your future, then, I'm sorry, but financially you will struggle, right? YOLO and FOMO are not words that I want to hear in my vocabulary, or any one of my close friends' vocabularies, or even my clients' vocabularies, okay? Millionaires don't use it. So if you are the type that is saying, YOLO, FOMO, you need to stop it. Stop it. Okay. One of my mentors, Dave Ramsey, I don't know him personally, but I do consider him my mentor because I love what he stands for. He says that no one is successful by luck. Nobody is successful by luck. You actually have to work hard for it, and you have to be intentional. So, if you see someone who is, who's got a lot of money and who's doing really well, who's really successful, and you say, you're so lucky, that's an insult, because luck had nothing to do with it. They worked their butt off to get to where they needed to be. So, if you're saying, luck, my luck is bad, it's rubbish. Okay, Shiloh, what did you say? So Oprah uses JOMO, joy of missing out. Exactly. I've not heard that one before, so thank you very much for sharing. That is it. Oprah Winfrey talks about the joy of missing out, so that is a better acronym to use instead of FOMO, okay? The fear of missing out is rubbish. The joy of missing out means that you then now have control over how you deal with things. You're the one that is in control. But if you're going by the word FOMO and you're thinking, I need to do this now because I'm going to miss out. I remember when I was younger and I'd be like, Mom, Dad, please, can I go to this party? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, but I'm missing out on the party. And they're like, no, you're not missing out on anything. Go and study. Right? But that's the thing. We have this fear of missing out. Hey, Dennis. But the truth of the matter is, let's adopt the acronym JOMO, which is the joy of missing out, because when you miss out on a lot of rubbish that is happening around us, that is actually distracting us from our real purposes, from our real, futures, and our abundance, and our, how can I put it, our financial independence. Then you need to just not be a part of it. So the joy of missing out is what we need to be adopting. So thank you very much, Shilolo. You have to tell me how to pronounce your name properly, because I'm sure I've pronounced it wrong. So, right. So another thing is that credit is an issue in the UK, and I'm assuming around the world. Okay, I know it's definitely an issue in America, but in the UK there are 8 million households, right, that have an issue with credit, with debt, and that's simply because of getting too many loans, getting too many credit cards, and then being in a position where now your credit card owners or the banks and all that have control over you, as opposed to you having control over your situation and your money. Okay, so for me, I would love for everybody on here, watching, to just commit to yourself to stop using credit. As you can tell, I am not a fan of credit. I'm not a fan of credit cards. I'm not a fan of loans and all of that, unless it's used to build assets, but that's another topic altogether. Another thing is that, okay, it's okay to use credit if you've got a 0% interest, or you use your credit card and then you pay it off, because all that's doing is maintaining your credit rating, which is good. But if you are constantly building credit for no reason, which can be avoided, then it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. Here are some reasons. You pay yourself significant sums of interest and charges if you use other people's money. It's so easy to use other people's money. So easy to use your credit card and just say, I want this, and you go and spend it. But you're not spending your own money, so you don't feel the pain. I guarantee you that if every single time you went out to buy something and you used your own money, you would think twice, right? But knowing that somebody else's money is available for you to spend is an easy option. And I just want everyone to not go for the easy option anymore. Let's go for the difficult options, because actually when you do things that are hard, that's when you achieve a lot of things. Like, easy things don't bring much success. Have you noticed that the hard things in life are the ones that actually bring a lot of success? The hard things, like studying for your exams, or working hours to save money, or trying to start a business, or working in a company and actually doing your job properly. These are hard things, but guess what? They're the ones that are going to push you further, right? Another quote that I love is by somebody called T.T. Munger, and what he says is that the habit of saving in itself is education, okay? And it fosters every virtue, teaches self-denial, it cultivates the sense of order, trains to forethought, and broadens the mind, right? So if you start saving your own money, you start to build a lot of amazing habits, and this is a good way to start building your finances and start getting to know your finances in a better way. A lot of my clients that I deal with are contractors, and some of them have limited companies and some of them are self-employed. And right now, because of the coronavirus, the government have come out with a lot of schemes, like furloughing your staff, or getting help with self-employment, your salary, and all those kind of things. But they're also offering things like loans and grants, and they're saying you can have the 3-month mortgage holiday, or you can have the 3-month tax holiday, and all these kind of things. And these are all to help people that are struggling financially. But me being me, the advice I give to my clients is that if you do not need to not pay a particular debt, don't do it. Hi Kosi. So if your mortgage company is offering you the 3 months of holiday, right? Because maybe you can't pay or whatever, but you can pay because you're still getting paid by your company. You're not really losing out in terms of your financial situation. Pay off your mortgage. If HMRC are offering a holiday on paying your taxes, okay, so corporation tax, self-employment tax, all those kind of things, right? If you can pay it, because guess what, with debt it doesn't actually go away. So all you're doing is you're parking your debt. Don't forget that the interest is still going to be there, okay? Yes, sometimes they might freeze your interest, but the point is, as I'm talking, I'm trying to get you guys to think that you do not want to have debt, okay? Like the banks and all that, they want you to have debt, because guess what, all these beautiful big buildings that you see that banks have, with the lovely lavish chairs and all the employees that they have, who's the one that's paying for it? You, with your interest. With your interest, right? So please get yourself out of debt quickly and do not go back into debt. So commit to not getting another credit card, another loan, until you have saved up that money yourself. And I'm also inviting you to join my savings group. It's called Saving Money Made Easy. Okay, I'm going to put the links up there when I finish this live. But this is a good way to kind of get you into the habit of saving. And what we're doing is a 52-week challenge, which is, a really easy way of saving money and getting you into the money mindset that you need to be. So the next topic is, stop worrying about money. It's so easy to worry about money, but guess what? The more you worry about money, the more money issues you will have, right? So instead of worrying, what can you do? Your mind cannot think of, one negative thing and one positive thing at the same time. So my advice to you is, instead of worrying, turn it into the positive and start saying positive affirmations to yourself, okay? Start visualizing. Hi, Bijoya, good to see you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Start, saying positive things to yourself about money, okay? Because that is the way that you can turn your negative and worrying thoughts about money into a positive thing. I've got an amazing post here which talks about money affirmations. I hope I can find it. I've got my tablet here, so just bear with me while I find it. I thought I had it ready, but obviously I haven't. Where is it? I'm sure I'll find it in 2 seconds. Bear with me, guys. I've got this amazing oh, here it is. So I'm going to post it when I finish this live. I'm actually going to post it in the comments. It is amazing affirmations that you can say to yourself every single day that will change your money mindset. I'm just going to read a few, but I will add it so that you guys can see. It's not mine. I got it off the internet, but I just think it's awesome. So here it is. It's the 30 money affirmations to attract more wealth. So the first one is, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, right? I am the master of my own money. There is plenty of abundance to go around. I'm already wealthy in so many different ways. I am thankful for the abundance that is coming to me. So that's just 5 of these affirmations, but I'm telling you, they are awesome. And what you need to do is every single morning, you say these 30 affirmations to yourself. Hi Fafa, hi Nana. Say these affirmations to yourself, because guess what? As I said, the brain cannot think of a negative thing and a positive thing at the same time. So if instead of thinking about negative, why not start with a positive thing? And the more positive things you say to yourself, the more it's going to go into your subconscious. I literally do this every morning now. Without even noticing, I start saying like positive affirmations to myself. I'm a child of God and I deserve, good things in my life, and I'm a successful person and achieving my dreams and my goals. And I'm saying this to myself without even noticing, because guess what? I've done it for so long. It's a part of me. And this is all about self-love as well, when you're saying positive things to yourself, okay? So the next thing is, start breaking bad spending habits. Be intentional with your money. It's the only way. So if you're the type that, you see something, you're like, oh, I want it, I'm going to get my credit card, and you go and you pay for it. Stop that. Start being intentional. And you have to think of things like, is it a want or is it a need? If it's a need, fine. I understand you need it, so you need to get it. If it's a want, you need to start thinking about, parking it aside and, finding a different way to get things. Because right now, in order to kind of build your finances and build a better financial situation for yourself, you need to be intentional with your money, which means that you cannot just be spending money anyhow. And I'm not saying don't spend at all, because I do a budget every single month and I put money aside for myself, right? So again, it's not like I'm saying I'm not ever going to buy anything for myself. No, but I'm being intentional about where my money is going and how I'm treating my money. Because if you do not have a budget and a plan for your money, guess what? Your money will plan for itself and it will disappear. I'm not even kidding. Your money will find ways of spending itself without you even noticing, okay? Automate your savings. So in our savings groups, we had some really good ideas of ways that you can kind of automate your savings. So every week you need to find a way to automate and save a certain amount every week, okay? And this again is building your saving muscle for the future, because this is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning, but these are steps that you need to take to actually start, because a lot of people are not saving, they don't know how to save, and they find it difficult to save. So rather than just say I'm not going to save at all, why not start small? Why not start small and start saving little by little, and as you get used to it, then you start picking it up. Sounds good to me. So join my savings group. And the next thing is, start looking for places to cut your spend, because a lot of us, we think that we can't live without the things that we buy, but actually you can. There are a lot of things that we overspend on, okay? Overspend. The other day I went through my I've got this massive freezer and I've literally piled things on top, and I decluttered my freezer. That sounds really funny, doesn't it? Declutter my freezer. But I actually got to the bottom of my freezer, and there were things that I was like, I didn't even know that was there. So my point is that, utilize what you have. Stop thinking that you have to go out and spend more money on things. You don't, right? You have everything you need, and now start using what you have instead of buying more. If you have clothes that you haven't worn in a long time, go and dig those clothes out and make them like new and start wearing them, okay? And then promise me, guys, that you will commit to not buying and spending on a credit card again. Promise me, because you don't need to keep spending on credit cards. If you're someone who wants to build wealth, right? You can't build wealth by building credit at the same time, because that's counterproductive, right? So in order to build wealth, you need to start relying on your own money. You need to start relying on yourself. And by doing that, by saving, what you're doing, you're saving for certain things. So there are people who save for their deposit for their homes. There are people who save for their cars, right? Because what they say is you shouldn't actually go out and, buy a car on finance and then you're paying stupid amounts of money on finance. Actually start save a significant amount now, and then when you go and purchase it, it's almost like it's your own money. And the next point here is, start planning for your future. So if you don't know where you are financially in your journey, you need to actually face your fears. So you need to look at your net worth. You need to look at, the habits that you have right now that you need to break. You need to look at your financial health. So, you might not have any debt, but what is your financial health like? Do you have a lot of assets, or do you just have, you don't really have much? You don't have debt, but you don't have much. And then the question is, how are you going to start building those assets? How are you going to start building wealth? Have you started? Fafa said, I promise. Thank you, Fafa. I'm so happy. Stop it. We don't need the credit. They're not there to help us. So stop using credit and actually start saving your own money and using your own money, because it's so much more cheaper. Okay. I forgot what I was going to say now. So I was talking about starting to plan for your financial future. And figuring out your financial wealth. That was it. I was talking about investing. So guys, if you don't know about investing either, you need to start thinking about investing, okay? Because investing is a powerful tool to help you to build wealth. This is a great opportunity now to start investing, because I don't know if there are people that have investments out there now, but for those who are, have investments, you will notice that obviously the prices of stock and bonds have gone down significantly because of anti-corona or Uncle Corona. And because of that, this is a good time to start investing your money in investments, in stocks and bonds, because the price will always increase. For those people who have money in investments at the moment and the prices have gone down, so your stock has gone down, it's just a paper change. It's a paper change. So what's going to happen is that the prices of the stock are going to go back up again when things go back to normal eventually. So if you want to get into the stock market, start investing, this is a good time. So do your research, learn about it, and start investing. Another thing I would say is practice patience. I think this is my last point, which is practice patience. Oh, sorry. Let me just say one more thing. If you're working for a company and you have a pension with that company and they are contributing a certain amount to your pension and you are also matching that contribution, or their contribution and you're topping up, or paying more towards your pension, I would say, and this is just a suggestion, I'm not your advisor, I would say make sure you max your pension, because this is another way to build wealth. If your company is contributing to your pension contributions, that is free money, and actually you need your pension for when you retire, and that's how you build wealth. So if you are, you're working and you've got a company who is paying you your pension and you are contributing, make sure you're contributing the maximum amount and your company is also contributing the maximum amount. That'll be good for your financial future. So my last point, guys, I'm going to say this point and then I'm going to say my goodbyes, is practice patience, okay? I've talked about my journey to financial independence, and that journey is going to be a 10-year long journey, and so now I've got 9 years and 10 months. So I'm counting down. The point is, I don't expect to be financial independent in 1 year. I'm actually planning on doing this over 10 years. So if you are not strategizing, you're not thinking about the tactics you're going to use to get a better financial future, start now, but be patient with yourself and know that it is a journey. I lost connection, sorry. Everybody's on a different journey, so just take your journey one step at a time, okay? And then the last thing I'll say is, you have to break these bad habits and let go of the past. Let go of whatever, hurt and pain and stories and issues you have back there, because you're moving in this direction. So you don't need to be looking back if you're moving forward, right? Let go of your past. Let go so your hands are empty to grab onto new opportunities, because there are opportunities around us all the time. It takes 66 days to build a habit. So start thinking about the habits you want to adopt. Like recently, I've gotten back to waking up very early. So 5 a.m. I'm waking up, and that gives me a good 3 hours before the kids wake up to get all my stuff done, and it's a game changer. But guess what, I have to go to bed early in order to wake up early. So it's you know, you have to sacrifice in order to get something positive in the end. If you're not sacrificing now, and not, because the thing is, if it was that easy to sacrifice, guaranteed everybody will be doing it. If it was so easy not to use credit cards and get loans and, you know, get car finance and all that, everybody would be doing it. But you are different. You guys are wanting to change your future, change your lives, so you have to take the hard route. But then in the end, you'll be sitting there with your cups of tea or your wine or your champagne, because you went through a hard journey to get to where you were now. And people now will be looking at you and saying, oh, you're lucky, when in fact the journey you took to getting a better financial position was a difficult one, but you did it, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? So be consistent as well. Be consistent. If you want to start saving, don't save 1 month and then not the other. Save, start small, so that you can continue the habit. Consistency is my word of the year. And to be successful, to achieve results, to achieve good things in your life, you have to be consistent. So I urge you to be consistent in anything that you want to try and do. But the main thing is be consistent in letting go of your past, letting go of your bad habits, letting go of your bad money habits. And if you're the type that says, oh, you know, I've never really had much money, or, you know, my family have never been, you know, financially independent, or, you know, I've never known how to not have debt or not use credit cards, you need to stop. You need to break that cycle, and you need to be the one that the next generation are going to look to, right? Your kids and their kids and their kids are going to look to, because we want to build generational wealth. So you have to change yourself in order to change the world. And so don't worry about what other people are doing, worry about what you are doing, okay? So yes, and the last thing is, so what I do is I'm a finance and health coach, and I help individuals to understand their finances, to understand their financial health, to build wealth, to build a better future, to get rid of debt, so you can have a better financial future. So if you do need any help or any advice, you know, just DM me, and I'm so happy to help, because this is my passion, okay? This is what my coaching business is all about, and this is what I live for, okay? Because I've seen so many cases of people not doing very well with their finances, and they don't know what to do and where to start. So if you do need any help, please let me know. Okay, I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. I did all of this for you. I put the makeup on and everything, and I'm just gonna go out for a walk because I have no clients to go see. But anyway, thank you very much, Edmund. I'm really happy you enjoyed it. I can't believe I've been on here for almost 50 minutes. I promise you I had expected to spend 20 minutes, but this is what shows I love talking about this stuff, and I want people to really push for a better financial future, because you can do it. If I can do it, if I am now working towards financial independence, and every day I'm getting closer and closer, why can't you? There's no reason why you can't, apart from making certain sacrifices. So I've got to love you and leave you. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you think that might like it too. Also, subscribe to my channel and click that bell for more of this kind of content. Sending you lots of love, and see you soon. Bye.